Jones wants to throw it. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Long touchdowns, big games from Elliott and Mariota. We're betting on it here at Campus Insiders, literally. Ray Crawford here with Doug Chapman, managing editor Pete Fiutak. Gentlemen, the betting window is open, so let's start with the first one here. The over-under on the longest play in this game, longest touchdown, 63.5 yards.
Wow.
Doug, you're going to do the over-under.
I'm going to go under. We saw Ezekiel Elliott break an 85-yarder last week versus Alabama, but that doesn't happen very often for running backs. If you look at him over the season, he's only has 2 times where he's run the ball for over 50 yards. I'm going to go under for Oregon. They do have a lot of big play potential, but I just don't see Ohio State allowing them to get a 63.5-yard play on them.
This is the easiest over.
I don't see it.
Not only is there going to be at least one play over 63.5 yards, every play is going to be over 63.5 yards. Neither defense is stopping the other. Over.
And neither team's taking a kickoff return back, so that's why.
Few, yes or no, a defensive or special teams touchdown in this game?
A defensive or a special teams touchdown? I will say yes. You're giving me both of those. I think there's going to be 1 million points scored in a variety of ways. So sure, give me a special teams touchdown somewhere in there.
Oh, we did have a defensive.
Sure, give it to me.
We did have a defensive touchdown in both of the games.
Yep.
So I'm going to take the over on that. Marcus Mariota, we're going to talk about him in a moment. Ezekiel Elliott, of course, a 120.5-yard rushing yards for Ezekiel Elliott. That's the over/under question here. We see what he's done in the last 3 games leading up to the title game. So, Doug, the question to you is, over or under, with the number being 120.5 yards?
I'm going to go over because the last 4 games of the season for him, he's averaging $170. He's got 7 touchdowns rushing. The last 2 games, he's gone over 200 yards, 230 against Alabama. The reason I'm going over, he may not have a 200-yard performance, but they're going to run him a lot to keep Marcus Mariota on the sideline.
If it's possible to get over on the first drive, he's going to do it. He's going to run. They're going to get penalized. He's going to run again. He's going to penalize. First drive, he goes over. Yes.
All right. How about Marcus Mariota now, the Heisman Trophy winner here for the Oregon Ducks, the outstanding quarterback who few likes to point out is good at throwing to open receivers as opposed to those guys challenged. So will he find enough open receivers to go over or under 23.5 completions?
Oh gosh, yes. Are you kidding me? Again, nobody's stopping anybody in this game. These are over. Everything over. It's going to be 5,000 yards of total offense. It's going to be 114, 112. It's going to be like an old school Denver Nuggets NBA game out there. They're just going to go up and down this field absolutely easily over 23.5.
All right. Moving on. Now a famous alum anyway for Oregon. Right. We all know Phil Knight and what he does there with the Ducks. He gets them all set each and every week with a new uniform. Got a new one. We're talking about that in another segment here on Campus Insider. So the number of mentions for the Nike founder at 2.5. Doug, over or under?
I'm going under. I think they're going to get it out of the way early. No need to talk about him. He ain't playing in this game, so there's not going to be talking about him during the game. And plus, the game should be exciting. You know this is an announcer when the games get slow. We got to start tap dancing in the box and start talking about all kinds. This game ain't going to be slow. It's going to be a lot of action. Won't be a blowout. They'll get the Phil Knight. They'll get to him maybe once, maybe twice early. That's it.
Yeah, this goes 55-3. They get Uncle Phil up in the booth there. But I agree. I agree. I think it's going to be a very close game throughout. I think it's going to be under. I think they may mention it once, if at all.
All right, speaking of Phil Knight, the creative folks he has there at Nike, gets everybody decked out for these games, including the Buckeyes.
Set us up. Where are we?
How about this Instagram from LeBron James? Getting it right. Of course, wearing these shoes during the Sugar Bowl victory over Alabama. So the number here again, few 2.5 mentions of King James in the title game.
Yeah, he spent a little more time dealing with his own day job than worrying about this. I say probably over because, again, it's LeBron. They're going to show a shot of him somewhere. They're going to mention him somehow. 3 mentions of LeBron James. I think just in the banter in one conversation, I think you can technically get over. I'm going to say put it.
Got to go under there. Come on, Pete. Under. They're not going to talk about Phil Knight. They definitely ain't talking about LeBron James at a football game. He might not even be there.
They're going to mention that, he could have played wide receiver or something like that as well, yes.
Well, you've offered some great advice here. Over on everything.
Over on everything. You'll be fine. It's Christmas.
He's got more betting examples and some advice for you.
Investing. You're investing.
That's right.
This is not your chance. You're not taking any chances here. You're investing.
Financial
Check it out on CampusInsiders.com. Over on everything. I like it.